refresh the motivation. Yeah.
Okay, we'll begin the prayers on page 6 of the book. To the Buddha, Dharma, and Arya Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. To the Buddha, Dharma, and Arya Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. To the Buddha, Dharma, and Arya Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By the merit from listening to the Dharma, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of benefiting all mother sentient beings. By the merit from listening to the Dharma, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of benefiting all mother sentient beings. By the merit from listening to the Dharma, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of benefiting all mother sentient beings. Page 11. May all sentient beings achieve extraordinary superior happiness. May all sentient beings be free from the unbearable sea of suffering. May all sentient beings never be parted from the bliss of supreme liberation. May all sentient beings be free of all bias, attachment, and anger to near ones, and aversion to others. Okay, page 12. 7-limb prayer. Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind. I present clouds of every type of offering, actually offered and mentally transformed. I confess all my negative actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in the virtues of all holy and ordinary beings. Please remain until samsara ends and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. I dedicate all the virtues of others and myself to the great enlightenment. Page 15. Mantra of Heart Sutra. Tayata Om Gate Gate Paragate Para Samgate Bodhi Soha. Tayata Om Gate Gate Paragate Para Samgate Bodhi Soha. Tayata Om Gate Gate Paragate Para Samgate Bodhi Soha. Page 26. Short mandala. Omahong, Omahong, Omahong. This ground, anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, 4 continents, sun and moon, I offer in visualization as a field of Buddhas. May all sentient beings thus enjoy this pure land. Idam Guru Rana Mandala Kamna Yata Yami.
Okay. First of all, good morning to everyone. Yeah, then today we try to explore, about the Bardo, intermediate state, how it comes, up when after that, we try to understand more about Bardo. Okay, today how to connect, how to connect from the death state to the Bardo state, yeah, from death state to the Bardo state, how to connect. Yeah, first we go to the back in the last the circle of dissolution, from last circle of dissolution. Then from last circle of dissolution, yeah, then connect to the Bardo, then Bardo will come, yeah. That first we here last circle, you have this page, everyone? Yeah, okay. The last circle, the last circle, what kind of factor will dissolve? What kind of experience will have? What is the cause of the experience, Yeah, here last circle, the what kind of the factor which will dissolve is here mind of the black near attainment. This is the actually there are many layers of mind, now this is the now is the it's the that's more subtle subtle mind of the layer of subtle mind, this is this mind of black obtaining, mind of black obtaining means it is gives the name of this by the experience of the such person, the dying person, then this is the dissolving, that black obtaining, the mind of the near, the mind of black near or attainment will dissolve. Then the such person will experience, here like this. This is experience come, the mind of the mind of killer light of death will come, come. At that moment, this person that have the experience, they are very clear, vacuity free of the white, red, and black, appearances, all of this gone, white appearance, comes, then it dissolves, red increasing comes, then it dissolves, the amount of black near attainment comes, then now it's dissolved, then it come, like this, very clear, vacuity free, of the white, red, and black, appearances, Actually, on this state, the such person really very, very, experience the great bliss. Experience the great bliss, Hengi Deva in Tibetan says, all the gross mind and the most some subtle mind, all kind of this dissolved, or dissolved into the heart chakra, On this stage, that here, because all winds dissolve into the very subtle light-bearing wind in the indestructible drop in the heart, indestructible drop, This is the compound, like the compound, white kundalini and the red kundalini compound, this indestructible drop. That all mind can, this the mass mind is dissolved into the eight, This is the last stage, all winds. This is the from actually there are actually 5 root winds, 5 branch winds, we usually say like translation, roughly translate, actually it's not a rough wind, this is like the energy, like energy, it's dissolved. At that moment that the most difficult at least people stay on this stage, this experience will stay on at least 3 days, It just everybody, at least, that people, some good meditator, have experience more about meditation. This kind of people can stay, longer, than more days, than 3 days, can stay on this stage, the experience, then this experience, at that moment, that since now, that with the daily practice to keep the training, this a cycle of dissolution, in our this lifetime, then dying time will come this, could understand, what's the kind of the experience will come, what, which the level of the dissolution, you can reach, understand, and then you can reach, this experience, like the pure, this is we usually say, great bliss, great bliss, that's this person experiencing great bliss, Then, if can that moment try to use this great bliss, this try to the great bliss use, to remember emptiness, This with if you can understand emptiness with this great bliss mind, then this person will not go into the intermediate state, in the samsaric life, it's then they have try to, then such person accept the illusory body, the opportunity, to illusory body, It can accept the illusory body, within short lifetime can accept Buddhahood. This is talking Vajrayana teaching, higher teaching, Then we usually regularly know that now when how it connect to the intermediate, state, Bardo, on this stage, of the then the person, in text Vajrayana teaching says that suddenly the such person vibrate, a little vibrating or a little shivering, shake, like that, with the mind, then the edge dissolution start, reverse, then mind of black near attainment again come, at the same time person born into intermediate state, the person born intermediate state, person born intermediate state means the subtle mind get out of the indestructible top, but the mind is still inside body, but is get out of the indestructible top. Bardo is born already Bardo there, inside, like that. Then this kind of a dissolution gradually reverse, the first black obtaining come, second red increasing, third white appearance, then the flaming lamp, then the fireplace, then the smoking, then the shimmering mirage. It will come back reverse, totally one by one reverse, like that. Then new love started there, and Bardo love, like that. Intermediate state, That actually in this on this area, we should know, according to the Buddhist teaching, we should know the four status, we should know. The death state, intermediate state, birth state, and we call prior state, prior means before, prior state, there we should call the post status, Then here, according to the Abhidhamma Kosha, actually many different here, sometimes a little different tradition, different explanation, some other traditions talk the 6 Bardo, 6 intermediate states, but Giluk Sigul says talks only 1 intermediate state. This referring to the Vasubandhu teaching, Vasubandhu Abhidhamma Kosha, he mentioned means intermediate comes between death and birth. He mentioned clearly in his text Abhidhamma Kosha, intermediate state occur between death and birth. Okay, this is actually we usually say Bardo means in between, in between death and birth, sometimes says some tradition call that death is intermediate because death is prior state and the intermediate state. This is intermediate. We don't go like that. if something exists between different two objects, it would be intermediate. Then everything intermediate state. Yeah. Yeah. You are intermediate. Yeah, between me and he. This devil intermediate. You know. Yeah, we don't say like that. This is the because there are some problem logically. Sometimes argument. Yeah, lot argument will come. Also Buddha himself in the Sutra teaching, he mentioned. Actually, there are many different synonyms, about intermediate state. Ether of smelling, yeah, there are many different names, I have here this one. Yeah, also that the synonym of the intermediate state, ether of smelling, and the yile chung means sibatsu. Sibatsu means searching birthplace. Searching birthplace. This is the name of another name of the intermediate state. Okay, searching birthplace. Also, smell eater. No, all Bardo is no. Then that is not smell eater. Yeah, that state is not smell eater. Yeah. Okay. Then also yile chung. And also says yile chung means derived from mind. Yile chung. Yeah, this is also the another name of the Bardo. And also sometimes say shi lungu. Shi lungu means basic enjoyment body. Enjoyment body in basic also, Yeah, that's there are many different name, Yeah. Then this is the as a it is dying sometimes. Then how we can prove, we can prove the intermediate state. Sometimes problem, somebody says there's no intermediate, some people have doubts, they're not intermediate state. Death and birth, there's no intermediate state. Death and birth, some say like that, Then we can prove, because like the dream is the good analogy to prove intermediate existence, Dream, by sleep. Death is like the sleeping. Then intermediate like the dream, After sleeping, deep sleeping, then sleeping, then after deep sleep, then come dream, Then awake, That intermediate like dream body or dream body like the intermediate body, intermediate state body, like that, So yeah, sometimes this is very interesting, sometimes His Holiness mentioned in his commentary, the Yamantaka commentary, he mentioned, he heard once one story from another master in Tibet. This master mentioned, His Holiness, This master said he heard from another master. At that one says at that moment in Tibet area, one specific area, one good meditator, monk, he sleeps. He was used to sleep for a long time. During the sleeping time, he used the eagle body, Then he traveled, long journey, and come back, like that. Sometimes very mystery, sometimes on his table, some piece of the feather, eagle. Yeah. This is the dream time using the dream body, Yeah, Bardo like that, Bardo is like the dream body. Then the starting awakening, then dream body, then this energy into the mind and the energy into the heart chakra, that this body, then disappear the dream body, wake up, enter into the old body, Like that we are, this is the circle of the life, birth and death and intermediate state, then enter into the, birthplace, to find the birthplace. Yeah, therefore, we should, in the Vajrayana teaching, say we usually when we are sleeping time, but we cannot experience, we cannot get the notice, because actually when we are sleeping, this dissolution will come. What appearance rate increasing manner, black near attainment, or all this kind of come, Then use now dim meditation, then when you born intermediate state, you cannot understand. You can understand you are in intermediate state, Then sometimes some good yogi practice the intermediate state, to accept the path, to practice intermediate state, then accept the liberation, like that, Then intermediate state, also actually, another the logically prove, the intermediate state exists between the death and the birth, This day in the Abhidhamma Kosha teaching, they use one logical reasoning. That is like this analogy used when first we put the seed, From seed, not direct connect to the tank, Not direct tank. Between these, there's sprout, Sprout, shoots, come, like that, Death, intermediate state, and birth. Death, intermediate state, and birth. Come like that, one by one. That this is, this how this body form, the body of the intermediate state, That now, we have to understand that this is the most subtle mind, the clear-light state, Clear-light state, this mind cooperate cause to the intermediate state body. It is to ride the subtle wind, cause the substantial cause, It becomes substantial cause of intermediate state body. Understand? The subtle mind, the subordinate, like the cooperative cause, become cooperative cause, Then intermediate state body become, The subtle mind cause of the substantial cause of the intermediate state mind. The subtle wind, the cooperative cause, the mind of intermediate state. Then from the body of the intermediate state. Okay. Therefore, this mind, the intermediate state body is very something special. Therefore, it can travel everywhere, like with the mind. Where mind is separate, this body is separate. Never touch to, hill or rock, or whatever. It can go in, Also says, nobody can destroy. No weapon to destroy. Even the diamond weapon cannot destroy. Diamond is very strong, to cut other thing, Diamond cannot cut this body, the body of intermediate state, It's very, interesting. Intermediate state, complete all limbs. Ear, eye, mouth, nose, arms, legs. And also it owns very magical power. This is the not by training. This is just the power of karma. Even the Buddha cannot stop their magical power, because this is the power of the karma, Therefore, they can, wherever they want to go, they can go. This we can prove, sometimes Sometimes very hard, when you cut the very hard rock, sometimes we found the prog, inside, some, like prog, prog. Yeah, prog, sometimes progs, different small animal, sometimes somebody can found, in the solid rock, between into the when you cut solid rock, people sometimes surprised on how it entered in this side, Actually, prog not entered, intermediate state, Bardo entered into the rock, then it formed, the prog body, prog love started inside, Yeah. This is the, sometimes it's good, to understand, this is the situation of the love, in the love, in the circle of the one love, Then, the lifespan, of this intermediate being, the lifespan intermediate state, so 1 week, only 1 week, 7 days, only 7 days. During this time, they're always, searching the smell, they're always searching the smell, they get the smell, then they are satisfied, feel of the stomach, Therefore, when somebody die, we usually practice, the Su offering, in our culture, Tibetan, for 49 days, 49 days we always institute for breakfast, 1 Su offering, for lunch, 1 Su offering, for dinner, offer 1 Su offering, like that, for 49 days. After 49 days, then this part we throw into the river, We believe, that actually the teachings say, the Lamrim teaching, the Ayar Asanga, was all this says. After 49 days, should find birthplace. No way to stay in intermediate state. Should found, found. Should found, should be found, birthplace, Sometimes this the intermediate being found, immediately the birthplace. Today die, after 3 days we found the birthplace. Sometimes it remain intermediate by, born die 7 times, in the intermediate state, Sometimes difficulty, Then finally after 49 days can find, the birthplace. Okay, Then that during this time, the 49 days or 7 days, during the intermediate state, then they are searching, always birthplace, always searching birthplace, always searching, looking for the smell, Then who can see, then say, also this is the Abdhamma teaching say, who can see intermediate being? Intermediate being can see intermediate being. Also somebody who accomplished it by meditating the eyes of God, we say, not the nature-born eyes, just by meditating, accomplish the eyes of God, can see the intermediate being. And also the upper intermediate state, upper, for 6 kind of beings, there are 6 kind of beings in samsara, the upper can see lower intermediate state. Very interesting, the hungry ghost intermediate state can see the intermediate state of the hell being. Hell being intermediate state see only the hell being intermediate state. Cannot see the intermediate state of the hungry ghost. animal intermediate state can see, intermediate state of the God and the intermediate state of the hell being. The human being, intermediate state can see, the lower three, these three realms of intermediate state, The God intermediate state can see human intermediate state, also as well, lower, three lowers intermediate state of the beings,
How can people go up if they can't see them? Does that make sense? Like, how can a human go to the God realm in the next birth if they can't see it?
A human.
Right.
How can human beings see the God realm, you mean, yeah?
Or how can they be reborn as a God? Because you say they can't see it, right?
No, cannot see. Cannot see. Intermediate. I'm talking the intermediate, Human intermediate, if me die, and now I will be being intermediate state, During that time, my intermediate state see the lower intermediate state, but my intermediate state cannot see the upper, the intermediate state of God, Upper means God, Cannot see. Actually, human there are usually two opportunities, to see other realm, One way you should be born there, then you can see. Another way you accomplish it, there's such good mind quality, accomplish it, such like clairvoyance or such, their mind, you accomplish it from here, some special meditation, actual concentration. We call in translation. I think this is in Tibetan says something wishy. Yeah, something wishy. Sometimes some translators say actual concentration. How much is exact correct is very difficult. You can say, but you achieve this such good quality of the mind, then you can see. Yeah.
If someone is going to be born in the God realm, it's as a result of a lot of merit to be born in the God realm, correct?
Yeah.
Be born in the God realm, we want to be human. So people are accumulating merit. What happens that then this merit propels them to be human as opposed to
This is the prayer. Prayer is very important. Therefore, prayer is like the driver, Prayer give direction, Prayer is Nagarjuna mentioned very clearly. Actually, there are two kinds of gods, We usually say desert realm gods and the form realm gods, In order to be born form realm God, if you practice the generosity, morality, it's not sufficient to be born in the form realm God. You have to training to something special meditation, like actual concentration, something which without this, you cannot be born there. The God realm, you can accumulate, practice the generosity, practice morality, practice patience, then you pray, then you can be born there. Dissolve God realm. Yeah, this is the two kind, this is like the different, Yeah. Then, sometimes then some Vinaya teaching, the Vinaya teaching has some explain about Bardo, Nyebe Bardo, the color, the color of the intermediate state, the Vinaya teachings explain some, The Vinayas, Buddha's Vinaya teaching, in the Buddha's Vinaya teachings, Buddha explained, here's a Tundu, the color, intermediate being of the hell realm, like the chunk burned, burnt tongue, if a little tongue, if you make fire, it burned, it comes like that, it's color, the animal intermediate state color like the smoking, strong smoking like that, the in hungry ghost intermediate state color like the water, like that. The human being god is like golden color, like gold color, gold, Yeah, in Vinaya teaching, explain like that, And the form realm, intermediate state, of the form realm color, the white, pure white. There are no intermediate state to the formless realm, Then direct, die, born there, not through the intermediate. If you in somebody is to be born into the formless realm, Yeah, this is very. Then Vajrayana teaching, and Buddha's in Vajrayana teaching says how intermediate from here in the mind, the subtle mind get out from the indestructible top, out, but still in the body, then it go out into this body, go out from this body, it should go out into this body. This going is the hair realm, it is going through the below open. If it will be born in the hair realm, it going into the below opening. It is mentioned, that this is the Vajrayana teaching mentioned, Gyutakpa Jevasa, and it says that Gyutakpa Jeva, Takpa means examination, Jeva means aid examinations, Tantra Vajrayana teaching, Buddha told,
So, when the mind separates from the body,
Mm-hmm.
the mind no longer in the body,
Yeah.
and it's moving around, so it's formless.
Yeah, formless. As it actually, actually not formless. Not formless. Their own specific form, I already mentioned, they have eyes, they have nose, they have ear, they have arms, they have legs. Also especially the human Bardo, like the human body. Ear, eyes, mouth, all these, like human.
So sometimes people will see
Hmm.
the relative who just passed, that relative can come to them and they'll see them. That kind of a body, like a ghost body.
Here teaching says, who can see intermediate being? Among the intermediate itself can see. Also somebody accomplish it by meditation. Eyes of God can see. Yeah, we have no opportunity. Maybe he's ghost. These people see ghost. Some ghost, to disguised, disguised instead of the Bardo being, sometimes come like that, many history in Tibetan, I think Western country also.
There are a lot of people who their channels are naturally open and they can see things that ordinary people can't see. And it's not necessarily from the practice of meditation. It's some karmic thing that when they take their human body, their channels are more open. They can see beings that we can't see. This has been proven like over and over again. And I know it's probably
Yeah, this is.
talked about that in the scriptures. It says people who've done practice, but there's so many cases of people that it's just unnatural.
Yeah, some is possible, it's possible, because some karmic connection, according to the teaching, authentic teaching, we should follow, according to the the certain, reference, good reference or authentic teaching we follow, Sometimes people, what to say, the misperception, some misperception, some people say, I saw something, say like that, Then we usually decide to the authentic teaching, what is mentioned, authentic teaching, what Buddha mentioned, what like kind of scholar Nagarjuna mentioned, what kind of the Asanga mentioned, Then we follow this, then we decide, Otherwise, if we listen to somebody's experience, it's sometimes a problem, Yeah, because sometimes misperception, yeah.
So after you said they're searching
Yeah,
for their next body,
yeah, birthplace.
and they can be reborn and then quickly die and come out.
Yeah, into the seven times. They have opportunity 7 times. Intermediate stage 7 times. This is the longest time, to find the birthplace. Remain 49 days.
49.
Yeah, 49 days. This intermediate stage have to die 7 times. 7 times die, 7 times born. Intermediate state.
So they're, I'm just wondering if they're looking for something they like, what they're attracted to, versus just being pushed by their karma, from the past. They're going to be searching for something they like.
Intermediate?
Yeah.
Yeah, then I think it depends on their own karma, yeah. Some intermediate state can find the birthplace quickly, after within 3 days or 4 days, no need to die, intermediate state,
So if somebody dies in an
Extreme state of anger. We've heard that could be a ticket straight to the hell realm,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
No.
Or hell, hungry ghost, animal, yeah, definitely. The lower realm should be go lower realm. What kind of lower realm can go, we cannot decide, Actually, yeah, Abhidhamma Kosha teaching mentioned, in this law, the good karma and bad karma, you have more good karma, you be born in the good realm. You have more bad karma, you will be born in the lower realm. Then it balance. Good karma and bad karma is balance. Where you have more habituated, you will born there. Yeah, it is the same. Then which come first, you can be born there. Negative sperm, come first. It will lead you to the lower realm. Yeah, Abhidhamma Kosha teaching says, Jiva, Jian, Khomba, Ngama naming juris. Yeah, Jiva Kanda Khomba, Ngama naming juris means, yeah, like that, yeah. This decide where we be born next life, yeah. This very interesting, yeah. Then sometime, very interesting, in Tibet, my native country, there one Sakya monastery. One friend of mine, monk of that monastery, he was sleeping in his room. The native village, we have one man, his wide mustache, long mustache here, like that, He died 1 year ago already. Then one night, when night time, midnight time, he awake, he was awaking them from the sleeping. He is open his eyes. This the old man is sitting and lying on the pillar like that, He was very shouting, very frightened, Then disappear. according to the authentic teaching, this is impossible. No opportunity to stay intermediate state. Should be born, should have taken already, but therefore one goes disguised of him's body.
Say again, that last part,
One ghost
goes,
disguised, The,
disguise.
disguised, definitely, Yeah, this is many problem, Some therefore in Western countries says, my father is dead, I saw so. Actually not dead. According to authentic teaching, it's already born, wherever, animal or human or God, But some ghost disguised, Yeah.
So, Geshe, I've got a question
From my experience,
Mhm.
and going back to the part of the teaching where people are dying in the dying process, and the elements are, dissolution of the elements and so on.
Mhm.
So I've been a nurse since the 70s,
Mhm.
and one of my first nursing jobs, I was quite young, I was in a cancer hospital. And I remember the nurses talking about a patient, and they said, oh yeah, last night she was talking about so-and-so, and she saw a wedding that was taking place in the bathroom, and so-and-so was there, and everyone's like, oh, knowingly, they're like, oh yes, this means this person is going to die within the week. This is, a lot of the physicians don't even know this. This is something that nurses observe on a regular basis. And so as I went on in my career, we hear about this all the time, where somebody's in hospice and they've been there for a few weeks and they're slowly, getting fading, and then they start getting visitations from dead relatives. And I want to know, how does that fall into this, transition with the elements? Like, is there a particular element when they're starting to see dead relatives, they're being visited by dead relatives, and and talking to them and everything? What element? I mean, what's happening in the dissolution process that allows them to see that?
They could, this person, such dying person, could recognize family.
Yes, this is common.
Yeah, then actually not reached on this dissolution stage. Have to travel more to reach on this dissolution, This dissolution on the first stage, First stage, the bodies become very weak, I cannot open eye properly. Vision is very pure, because eye consciousness is degenerating, in the first stage, Second stage, the problem to hear sound, cannot hear external sound, or as well inner sound, Yeah, according to this teaching, Before, therefore, these people not reached, on this circle, maybe closing to the approaching to the close to this circle, yeah. Then actually lost the this eye conscious, air conscious, nose conscious, tongue conscious, body conscious, less like that, Yeah, when lose the eye conscious, the power, then cannot see, hair cannot hear, nose cannot smell, tongue cannot taste, body cannot touch, no how much smoothie clothing put, no touch, no feeling, like that, Yeah, this is if you understand this kind of the rule, this dissolution, then you are working in hospice, then you can understand, you can examine, through the experience of the such person, no, maybe he's not reached,
I mean, you can see, like, the secretions dry up, and, there's changes in the skin color. And
Yeah.
the people are not dead yet, but you can see,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
gradual. But
sure.
it's this one phenomenon that happens. And even our mother, when, like, a few days before she died,
Mm.
she was seeing something, and a lot of people will, like, raise their arms, like, they're seeing something beautiful,
Mm.
like angels or something.
Yeah, this good, very good. Yeah, this is very good. This is a dying time. If some good feeling, no suffering, no fear, then definitely we be born the good destination. The dying term, the fear, then unfortunately, it's going to be born in the lower realm, This is the mentioned in the many teaching, many teaching. Or some the good the practitioner, then see many godness, and the god and the godness come, to inward, many in the Tibetan, history, Tibetan the religious history, the many history of the many guru, many guru master, the many history, many coming to inward.
What is the Tibetan Book of the Dead? How does that connect to all this Bardo state? Teaching from Tibetan Book of the Dead.
Yeah, this is the very famous. Yeah, one Sokye Rinpoche wrote. Yeah, this very famous. It was bestseller. Yeah, on the world. People love very much.
A Dharma teaching from Padmasambhava, which
Yeah.
Sokye Rinpoche
Yeah.
translated it.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of translations of it.
Yeah,
Accumulated.
I read this book. I read a different explanation. According to the Gilu Sikul, from the fifth circle, we don't talk external sun. In this book also mention external sun from the fifth circle. According to Gulu, all the many masters, many different books, the many masters wrote, composed it, it's from fifth circle not mentioned. No external sun. Only internal sun. First circle, second circle, third circle, fourth circle, external sun. Because it is related to the external body, yeah? It means, sense. Makes sense, yeah? Yeah. Actually, in this book, especially, he put many other gurus' experience, This is something special, Such person experience, then he listened, then put in this book, Yeah. What your question? Sorry, what is the question then?
No, I just want to know how it connects to the Bardo, that book. I didn't never really read it, so I just was wondering if it has something to do with Bardo practice or benefiting someone that's in the Bardo.
Yeah, that, and this actually, the problem is that should trust, should believe, to this, experience, then you make some conviction, some conviction in your mind, after that maybe they definitely, to be born Bardo, then Bardo, then rebirth, then next it prove next love actually, continuous love, prove the continuous love, not like the broken glass, not like collapsing house, that made that is different, something. Yeah. In these books are good, also. Actually, say in the Vajrayana, if you are the practitioner of the generating stage or accomplished stage, then this dissolution is very important to understand. This both stage very useful to practice the generating stage and the accomplished stage. The generating stage we have to try to make this experience fabricate, try to image, to have some image, that God, mandala, deity, so on and so forth, that when you reach the general stage, you can observe or into your central channel, then the real phenomena come to your mind, experience, Therefore, then there are many. First, you are disunderstand, then dim state, try to understand the sleeping, then try to understand, dim as dim, in the dim time, Yeah.
About dreams. So when people pass, a lot of times a lot of family members will have someone have dreams that they're visiting,
So, and
they'll get information maybe they didn't know before, or they'll be like, oh, tell your cousin this, and the cousin will be like, I didn't know. How did you know that? You know, so there's a lot of that kind of happens. So what is there commentary on that and what that is happening there, or?
Sure, sure. You mean, yeah. This is, this is the I have experienced, a lot. Especially my grandma, father's mother, she get me more than mom, Mom always going out, for work, government work, sometimes 1 month come back, once at home, Always sleep with the grandma, night time, Then love more to grandma than mom, Then at the day of the grandma die, always embracing, hugging to her body, Never fear. Want to hug, to her body. Then continuously, every night for several months, dim. Always she coming in the dim, She's doing the regular, activity, Then is very happy in dim time, Oh, then maybe she's not died, something like that, Yeah. Then, this is very important, This is the power of the love, Yeah, the compassion, yeah. Or somebody threatening or bully you, make the harm, problem. Then when this body die, you see the body, it makes fear to you, Yeah. Or sometimes see like the filthy, filth, like dirt, Then somebody love, never also hugging or embracing, like that, Yeah. You mean this is in the dream? You are found this dream in the dream. You some family died. They come in the dream. Yeah. This is coming. Yeah. This is not actually dream. This is not reality. Dream. Yeah. Actually, dream is the delusion. Yeah. Dream is the delusion. Yeah. The dream is the one example for delusion. Yeah. Because this is when we establish emptiness, always use dream as the illusion, delusion, Dream elephant, not elephant, Dream mom is not mom, yeah. Yeah.
Separates from the body and it's searching around and it has some appearance, can it communicate?
Communicate to
Like a person, a relative.
Yeah, I think and not mentioned, Bardo, the Bardo being can see us too, We cannot see the intermediate, The intermediate being can see to us, Therefore, they always make some offering, the smelling offering to house, They always come to the house, to the family, Then eat there,
But they can't send a message.
Then sometimes say, yeah, I actually the wobbly, I have heard, many times, sometimes says, then intermediate state, then you talk, to your father, he not answer, you put your hand, the intermediate hand, on the, sometimes try to put print, no footprint, then you really understand, oh, I'm dead. Then make your fear sad, say like that, Yeah. We cannot see,
They can see
us, yeah, they talk.
They can talk.
Yeah, then we don't know, we not listen.
Not hear.
Yeah, we cannot hear, we cannot see, because totally different situation or in the body, Yeah, this is mentioned. But this is the through wobbly, but I didn't see in the text,
Are
that you've heard of where people die, obviously you wouldn't know unless they came back, but when people die and they meet beings that are there to help them in the Bardo state, you know, like some kind of guides, or it's like I remember one Lama, he was a Western Lama, and his guru gave him a Dharma. When he gave him his Dharma name, he goes, "This is the name that I will call for you when you go into the Bardo state." So that implies that your teacher, somebody really close to you like that, might be there waiting to help you go wherever you need to go, or you know what I'm saying? Is there beings that are waiting in the Bardo who can help you?
Some says, I think this I cannot believe. Yes, recently I saw one video clip. One Lama says, the audience, you know, the local people, I will meet you intermediate state. When you intermediate state, I come to see you. Then I'll bring you to the Sukhavati. Say like that.
Yeah.
I cannot believe. I cannot believe.
Yeah.
I cannot believe.
I read that from a book from the Karma Kagyu tradition. They said that some people, you know, they're reborn in Sukhavati, right? Or Dewachan, and they would receive a body of light, and with that body of light, they can go and help beings in the Bardo. And I remember thought, wow, what a great job that would be to have that job.
From my understanding,
Yeah, some special person, yeah, like the Buddha, you know, maybe can have. But therefore we usually say, you know, after somebody die, we usually do puja prayer, you know. It help, definitely help. Help, definitely help. But I don't know, as some sinner person, intermediate, some guru can lead to the Sukhavati, very difficult. Then everybody don't avoid to the sin, you know, action, negative action, you know. Oh, maybe I give some money to my guru, he will protect me.
So then the question of when someone's
Poa for somebody who's died. Let's say Chada Rinpoche, you pass away. Chada Rinpoche does Poa for you. Isn't he guiding your consciousness to?
Actually, what the means of poem? Poem means transform the mind, you know, from the ordinary level to something special level, you know. For maybe it's some negative sinner person or intermediate state, make the power transference, transference, transform to the something Sukhavati, you know. I do not so much believe, you know. It's very, very difficult. Then law of karma, we break the law of karma. Yeah, some is possible, you know, but I cannot say impossible. It's possible, you know, but it's very, very rare. Very, very rare. We should follow our karma. You accumulate good karma, no need power, no need guru. You yourself can go. You know, accumulated negative karma, Lord, even the strong guru, even the Buddha come very difficult to protect us. Okay, not finished.
Seth had one final question.
Huh?
mine wasn't a question, it was a comment for yours. Protect your deities in the Bardo. So I've read Book of the Dead, and my understanding from that was deities are not, they're beings that are external to you, but they're also entities inside of you. And so when you encounter these energies in the Bardo, if you have done a lot of meditation on these deities, they appear as a deity. And it's very important to recognize them and not be scared of them, because they're very powerful energies that your instinct is to be afraid of and move away from, and that's the way to go to the lower realms. And so they're in there, and they're not separate from you.
Right, they're projections of your own consciousness.
that's why all different religions, they will see their respective deities. Christians will see Jesus, Buddhists will see Chenrezig. It's the same energy that they're seeing,
Yeah.
and it's their mental, they appear differently.
Yeah, I actually asked Sokni Rinpoche this exact question. He said no. He claimed that no matter what culture you're from, you're gonna see the Tibetan deities. So, I don't know, but that was his answer to me. So.
Because I think it said at that point, your visual consciousness is already dissolved, so there's nothing for you to see there. There's only these interpretation of energies.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Is this our last classes or we will have practices?
I'm gonna talk about that.
Because I have more questions, but I'm
Oh,
running out of
oh
time,
yeah, we're
so
not.
I don't want to
Yeah,
take anybody's
there's
time.
there's no class next week. But go ahead and ask your question.
No, it's okay.
Okay, then next we will talk the Ribad, then complete this teaching, yeah?
Because yes, I just feel like it's incomplete.
But it's gonna be 3 weeks from now. So hold your question for then.
Mm,
No, I don't know if you make decisions. Is this, because is this section completed or you have more want to say, or there will be no classes?
I'm gonna talk about that in just a minute. Let's finish the prayers and then I'll make the announcement, unless you wanna say your question. Okay.
yeah. Thank you. Intermediate, also I have some left, to talk intermediate. I say no problem. Now, then next, yeah, when we can gather for next class, then I will introduce, the Ribad, dying, now intermediate, then Ribad, how can find the Ribad, Okay, thank you. Yeah, yeah, no.
Okay.
We'll find you best.
The dedication, page 38.
Mm. Yeah.
Due to this merit, may I soon attain the enlightened state of Guru Buddha, that I may be able to liberate all sentient beings from their sufferings. May the precious body mind not yet born arise and grow. May that born have no decline but increase forevermore. Page 55.
55.
Om Swasti. Like the countless light rays that radiate from the ruby mountain, exquisite Amitayu's Lord of everlasting life, who captivates and one does not tire of seeing, whose essence is of infinite life, the nectar of immortality. Please instantly grant our Guru the city of stable and everlasting life. You are intelligent and skillful in upholding the traditions of Buddha, spreading the holy Dharma through explanations and practices, in order to lead disciples onto the path to liberation. You are the one who is an unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. I request respectfully my precious and holy Guru to enjoy excellent health. I request respectfully my precious and holy Guru to live a long life. I request respectfully my precious and holy Guru that your Dharma activities spread and flourish far and wide. I request respectfully my precious and holy Guru to bless me to be never separated from you. In all my future rebirths, may I never be separated from my perfect Guru. May I enjoy the magnificent Dharma, and by completing the qualities of the stages and paths, may I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. Om Guru Vajramuni Sasana Muguni Soha. 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 Page 40.
Yeah, mix them up.
Me zor we der jen jen reze dreme kepe wan bo jam pe ya
Drime Gembe Wambo Jambe Ya Ganchen Kebe Zugen Zongaba Lo San Dragbe Jala Zoale Me
Om Benza Sato Samaya Manu Balaya Benza Sato Dino Badido Jido Membawa Suto Kayo Membawa Subo Kayo Membawa Anurado Membawa Zawazide Membayasa Sawa Karma Suza Mejidam Shiyam Guru Ho Bhagavan Savadada Gada Benza Mame Meza Benza Bhava Mahasamaya Sato Ambe. Oh yeah. Thank you, Geshe.